Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Destiny 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, the Sundial. You're doing it wrong. Let's get to it. The Sundial is the seasonal activity for Season of Dawn, and you're doing it wrong. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, I'm not doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Well, that may be the case, but we're going to talk about the entire activity as a whole, each individual activity within the Sundial, and then what I believe that we're doing wrong. Alright, so when you go into the Sundial, or when you have access to the Sundial, after you talk to Osiris and you get access to the actual activity, then you go in and you notice that it is very, very much like the menagerie. You have different activities and you have different objectives during those activities, and then once you fill out that bar on the left-hand side, all the way to the top, you get to the boss phase, and this week it is Nerul, the Hollow Voice. And I believe Nerul will be making a return trip after the 3 initial bosses are out for each initial week. Alright, so in general, when you're playing the different activities, if you are only playing, your entire team of 6 is only playing to the objective, then you're going to have a difficult time completing the entire thing before the time runs out. Which is not to say that you'll fail. This is an unfailable activity. It's just a matter of how long it'll take to get through it. So you need to have 2 or 3 people working on the ads, and then the other people working on the objective, depending on power level, etc. So depending on the loadout, depending on your power level, you could have 2 or 3 people working on ads and everyone else is working for the objective. And then of course, once you have the main objective available, then you need to communicate with your other team members. If you're only doing this by yourself and you're playing with a bunch of blueberries, then good luck to you. It will be a little bit more difficult, at least in the beginning, where people are trying to figure out how to actually do this. Alright, so bombardment, you have to take out the centurions that are holding the relics. They're the guys that are kind of flashy on the sides, and throw it into the middle with the guy with the shield that is immune. A beam of light comes down and damages the shield. Once the shield shatters, you have a damage phase and you can take the guy out if you do enough damage to him. So of course, the guy is kind of moving around in that little circle or podium in the middle, and you have to hit him with the ball of light to maximize the damage to the shield. Now also, the relics, when you throw them down after the shield shatters, will damage the boss. So if there are relics lying around, pick them up and throw them, because that is an easy extra amount of damage that you can do. Once the shield goes down, make sure that you're using your heavy or your super or whatever is going to do a large amount of damage in a short amount of time. Once you take them out, the next boss will pop up, of course, with a shield, and you'll have to get those relics, toss them on them, and do the whole thing over and over again. Now, these ads will be coming out, as well as champions, either unstoppable, overload, or barrier champions. People that are focusing on ads need to be able to take those out, so you do need to have the appropriate mods on your guns and or armor in order to take care of them. Because the champions, you can take them out without the mods, but it is going to be more difficult. With the mods, you will be able to stagger them, and they will take extra damage while they're being staggered. The second activity in the Sundial is data mine. And data mine, you have to stand on the plate. And I believe only one person of the team has to stand on the plate. And you get more information, and that spire kind of builds, and then you move on. During that phase, of course, there's going to be a lot of ads coming in trying to take out whoever is standing on the plate. Additionally, at some point, there'll be a message that says a Scion commander appears, and that little circle, which was white, will turn red. That is your clue that you need to look around and look for a Scion in a bubble. You need to go into the bubble and melee that Scion. Once the Scion is gone, then you can return to the plate, or if someone's still standing on the plate, then the progress will resume. Once that plate is completely finished, there will be a boss that shows up. Take out the boss, and then 2 new plates will show up, split off into teams of 3 for each plate. Now, although you could go all 6 people to 1 plate, I don't think you have enough time to do the initial plate and then the 2 additional plates. So I think it's best to split up, get those plates finished off, and then a boss will show up, and then take them out, and more than likely you'll be done. Again, the circle will turn red, and there'll be a message that pops up that says Scion Commander appears. You need to look around for that bubble. Go in and take them out so you can continue getting progress on that bar, getting closer and closer to beating or meeting the boss, and then beating the boss. The last activity involves 3 minotaurs. Take out the minotaurs, they drop a relic. You pick up these charges and you take them back to the middle or beginning of the map where there are 3 machines that you interact with, and you put that void charge in. Once you get all 3 in, a boss shows up. Take out the boss, and then just rinse and repeat. This one's extremely straightforward. You want to quickly as you can, take out those minotaurs and take those charges out. So you only need 3 people to take out the minotaurs, and then those 3 people will take the charges to the machines. The other 3 people should be working on ads, making sure those people with the charges don't go down. So the important thing here is if you're running a charge, you lose your extra jumps, so you don't have strafe glide, you don't have catapult, you don't have triple jump, you only have a single jump. But keep in mind that you can use your trigger, melee attack, whatever, with the void charge R2 on the PlayStation 4, and that will give you extra distance when you're jumping. So even though you only have a single jump, in the middle of that jump you hit the R2 and then you do a melee, and that gives you an extra amount of distance, and that'll help you get from where the Minotaur went down to the machine that much faster. And you can avoid a lot of the ads on the ground by sticking to anywhere that is more elevated. Alright, now once you get to the boss, Nerul, there's a couple things that you'll want to know. First off, you want to have at least teams of 2 in 3 different locations. You can have everyone in the same location, but all the ads are going to pile in that one location. It is much better off to have at least 3 different locations where it is a little bit easier to deal with the ads. Now, I do say teams of 2 because one person will work on the boss, the other person will work on the ads. So one person is only going to work on the boss, one person is only going to work on the ads, and you can tag off. So if one person is using a linear fusion rifle or a sniper rifle or whatever that is going to do a decent amount of damage to the boss, if they run out of ammo, they say, okay, I'm out of ammo, switch, and then switch jobs. First person then that was doing damage on the boss is going to take care of ads and keep those ads off of the person that's damaging the boss. Now again, like other areas where you have a Scion Commander show up, you're also going to have Scion Commander show up in this boss phase. Boss will become immune. There'll be a Scion Commander inside of a bubble. You need to find that Scion Commander and take him out. Unlike other areas, there will be multiple Scion Commanders depending on how much damage the boss has taken. By the end, you can have up to 5, I believe, Scion Commanders show up at once, and you have to take out all 5 before that shield will drop. So that is all of the different activities within the Sundial currently for the week, and perhaps now you've seen possibly there was something that you were doing or your team was doing that could have been done a little bit better. But this is not what I was talking about when I was saying that you're doing the Sundial wrong. What I really mean by doing the Sundial wrong is if you look at your season rank rewards at level 94, if you look at that, you notice that there is an alternate final perk that gets unlocked on Sundial weapons or time lost weapons. And these time lost weapons are the reward at the end of the activity. Now what this means, there's 2 possibilities. First of all, there is an alternate perk like the perks on the ritual weapons where you can choose between 2 different perks so that you're not stuck with one perk. Or similarly, like the Forge augmented weapons that are like normal weapons that you see either in Gambit or from Dreaming City, from the Vanguard or Crucible, but they have a extra perk that you can choose between. So maybe the initial perks was not so good, but the alternate perk was better. So this is one possibility, so it'll be a little bit easier to get a god roll or what you consider to be a god roll on any particular weapon. The other possibility, if you're looking at this alternate final perk unlocked, is that there is a hidden perk that is locked away until you hit level 94 in the season rank rewards or battle pass, which means that we're not playing with a full loot pool. Loot pool is partially locked away, so even though we're getting time lost weapons, we're not getting the best version of the time lost weapons, and we won't really know until some people get to that level 94 and start getting the time lost weapons. So what I'm really saying is grinding for the time lost weapons now is fine if you want to do it, but once you hit 94, then that is the real time to start grinding time lost weapons. Not only will there be more available as the weeks go by and as more obelisks become available, but you have that extra perk that is going to be unlocked. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
The people of this system will not realize the extent of what you've done. That is the bittersweet nature of our duty. Our success is often invisible. Our failure would be catastrophic.